Hey guys, my name is Cory Lee with Cory Lee Leadership, and we have a men's mastermind group. Is for, entrepreneurs and leaders who serve in leadership role, or men who are aspiring to be leaders. Each month we're diving into a book, and I thought, hey man, it would be cool if I just did a video teaching some of the lessons out of each book. And this month we're starting a new book. We are starting Extreme Ownership by Jocko, Willink, and Leif Babin. Awesome book. And definitely a leadership book, and it's written by Jocko. You may have heard of Jocko. He's got a podcast, got some great stuff out there. But Jocko and Leif, they were some Navy SEAL commanders while serving in the Battle of Iraq, and they served or led the task unit Bruiser that fought there in Iraq, and most of their time was spent in the Battle of Ramadi. In this video, I just want to kind of introduce this book and what we're going to be doing, and kind of diving into some of the nuggets. And I love this book. Like I said, I like the way they've written it. I like the way they've set it up, because the way they've set it up is each chapter is broken down almost threefold. So the first part of it is kind of their story of how they learned this particular leadership lesson. I think there's 12 or 13 principles in the book of extreme ownership. But they set each chapter up with a story, how they learned it, military. And then they get to the principle itself. And then the third component of that is, how do you actually apply it in business? And if you know much about DISC profiles, if you're a D person, you're a D-type personality, just bottom line stuff, bottom line results, don't care about all the other stuff. Just give me the point. What's the point, right? You can go straight to the middle of each chapter and it tells you, this is the point, right? Here's the point. And I like that about the book, but I also like the fact that this is a leadership book, and the title, Extreme Ownership, that is no one else to blame. As a leader, it is on me. John Maxwell, we teach that everything rises and falls on leadership. And in fact, this is a quote in the introduction right here. He says, this is the mindset. This is the mindset that you've got to have, that leaders must own everything in their world. There is no one else to blame. And that's kind of what these principles are about throughout this entire chapter here, or the entire book. And there's just a couple other quotes that I wanted to point out in this, just in this intro video. He talks about, for all the definitions, all the descriptions, all the characterizations of leaders, there are only two that matter, right? Effective and ineffective. Effective leaders lead successful teams that accomplish their mission and win. Ineffective leaders, they don't. The other thing is, for leaders, the humility to admit and own mistakes, right? Having the humility to say that it's on me, I made a mistake. I know, a lot of times leaders think that they've got to have all the answers and they've got to be perfect. Well, leaders, you don't know everything. That's why you've got a team, right? And part of being a leader, the power doesn't lie with us as the leader. The power lies in empowering other people, right? So when we make a mistake, one, we need to own the mistake. But we need to learn from the mistake too. And this is what he talks about. We need to admit and own mistakes, and then develop a plan to overcome them is essential to success. The best leaders are not driven by ego or personal agendas. They are simply focused on the mission and how best to accomplish that mission. It's having the vision and the focus and the mission in mind, and not allowing that to deter you. So one of the things we talk about in leadership is, people talk about that experience is the greatest teacher, but it's evaluated experience that's the greatest teacher. He talks about right here, admitting your mistakes, but then the flip side of that is you can't just say, okay, I made a mistake. What's the lesson in the mistake that I can apply going forward, right? But you only get that knowledge if you evaluate the experience. Evaluated experience is the greatest lesson. One last quote in this intro that I really wanted to focus on right here. It says, leadership is the most important factor on the battlefield, the single greatest reason behind the success of any team. You know, I said that leadership, everything rises and falls on leadership. Success or failure on the battlefield, according to this book, is dependent upon leadership. And when he says leadership, I don't think he's talking about an individual, one individual person, right? We're not talking about titles and positions. You know, a leader, we empower other people. We want to create a culture of leadership. And that's kind of what he talks about right there after that quote was, you know, you have the commanding officers. They stepped up and took leadership, right? They made mistakes and they humbly admitted those mistakes, but they didn't live in those mistakes. They acted, they took ownership. The next level down, they acted, they took ownership. Next level down, all the way down is a trickle effect of taking action, not passing the blame, but taking ownership. And that's kind of what this book is about. We're going to be diving into, I think it's 12 or 13 principles, maybe 12. But that's just an intro to what we're going to be diving into. And I'll look forward to diving in more. Hey, subscribe to the videos. Stay connected with us here. I'm going to be doing this with other books. This is our very first one. We just did one on As a Man Thinketh. I'll put a link into the notes down here if you would like to learn more about that. That was an awesome one on mindset, the mindset of a leader. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Comment below, share it with a friend or family member. I look forward to catching you on the next video. You guys have a great day and God bless.